What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid, more specifically Amp-2, and why Lucid really needs to prioritize that. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid recently did disclose some information about Amp-2. One is that they'll be fully sustainable by mid-2026, and as well that they'll be able to hit the full capacity 150,000 between 2028 and 2029. That I wasn't too happy with because they did push it back. Originally it was supposed to be 2026, then they unofficially pushed it to 2027. So with that being now at 2028, 2029, I'm not too happy because Amp-2 is going to be the very big deal for Lucid because it can ship to Canada, Europe, around the world at a lower cost than Amp-1. And I've already done videos about that, testing kind of the trucking and various routes that you can take. So it is very much advantageous to focus and prioritize on Amp-2. And because of the recent developments, that's kind of even more so a top priority because Lucid over the last several earnings has really signaled that the Canadian and Mexican tariffs are really impacting their margins between 12 to 15%. For a stock trying to, or a company trying to hit profitability, that's a big deal. Very, very big deal. So even more with 2026 being the big transitionary year for Lucid with mid-size and everything else, as what Peter stated, mid-size is going to help them hit profitability. And if we have all these current tariffs and issues, that's going to be very difficult for Lucid because right now Canadians aren't buying Lucid at all. And that is very unfortunate because Lucid spent a lot of money trying to market and really head up north. But with the current tariffs at 25%, nobody's really going to be buying a Lucid, and data really signals that. And with the recent chatter over the weekend about tariffs again with the EU, this is where again they could really, that could be a problem for Lucid. And so in general, 2026 with the mid-size and so many other things being a pretty good catalyst, you need a workaround. And luckily enough with Amp-2, when they do produce a vehicle, they put down made in Saudi Arabia. So that is a workaround for the tariffs. So Lucid really needs to prioritize that. Amp-2 more than Amp-1, more than making new studios in the States, which oddly, I don't know why they're still doing that, but they really need to focus on Amp-2 if they want global domination as what was kind of originally their plan. So even more so from Canada, which is rather kind of annoying, but it looks like Canada lowered the tariffs on China from 100% down to 6.1. So China, surprisingly, has a lower tariff than Lucid, or than American just products, which is crazy if you think about it. So this is why I think that China is going to really kind of expand at a fast rate. Luckily enough, Canada only capped it at 49,000, but I can see that being fulfilled in like a couple weeks by all the Chinese automakers. So Lucid really needs to focus on Amp-2 and do it fast because it looks like, given all the tariff talk, things might just escalate. And so right now we do have Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, UK, Netherlands, Finland all getting hit with a 10% tariff that's effective February the 1st, potentially rising to 25%. Futures are very red right now. So we have the NASDAQ down 1.1, S&P down 0.87, Dow 0.8. So it looks like the market's going to be freaking out a little bit at the beginning part of this week, but this is where Lucid, again, tariffs on all this won't be that big of a deal if they can produce and ship it from Amp-2. But I feel like Lucid does need to tinker around with their website a little bit, only because if I go on Lucid's website and I try to order a vehicle, it unfortunately doesn't give me a workaround to, let's say, order from Amp-2. So I feel like Lucid does also need to figure that stuff out behind the scenes because yeah, as it stands, Canadians and plus I guess Europeans now are in the same boat that they're not going to be buying American products because with the tariff it doesn't make sense whatsoever. So I think in general Lucid does really need to figure out and focus on Amp-2 and try to move it back up to the original target of full capacity 150,000 in 2027, or if for whatever reason if they can do it in 2026, that would be even more advantageous. But with mid-size and the current tariffs, I feel like it's only going to be sold to Americans, which is rather unfortunate. So Lucid really needs to get their stuff together very fast. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Hopefully everyone's having a good long weekend, at least to the Americans out there. One final thing, if you're looking for some solid buy signals, pop over to my Patreon. I put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.